morning, everybody. My name is Mike Conroy. I'm the architect for SEE. I want to welcome you to SEE 2024. The people here, the folks you've seen, the teams, absolutely amazing group. There's many new faces, there's many new teams, and I want to welcome everyone. As we've gone through the process and gone through the meetings that Paige has held and what we've done, I've been incredibly impressed by the work done, how the teams have supported one another, how everybody's worked together. This is the type of cooperation that gets us to Mars, that gets us to other planets, that gets us to the stars. So well done, everyone. The image you see on the screen is a lunar South Pole. This is considered by many to be the best start for the moon, setting up base there, and going back to the moon to stay. For our visitors, this is where SEE 2024 takes place. The teams created, shared, and refined their concepts. They built tools, they built systems, vehicles, structures to make this possible, and then work together to make them better and work together to let them communicate so that the different systems can help and can leverage each other and make things better for everyone involved. Their work makes me proud, and it demonstrates that space exploration as regards to the next generation is in good hands. I have no doubts these people will do. They will all do wonderfully, wonderfully well. Again, the crater in the center, Shackleton Crater, focus just to the left of the almost perfectly round crater in the center. That is where SEE 2024 takes place. And I would like to introduce Zach Cruz with NASA at the Johnson Space Center. Zach is one of the founding few of the SEE, and his words are always words that we want to listen to. Zach.
Okay, let me do a quick sound check, make sure everybody can hear me. Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Okay, well, thank you very much. So as Mike said, my name is Zach Cruz, and I'm joining you from NASA's Johnson Space Center. I also want to welcome everyone to the 2024 edition of SEE, the Simulation Exploration Experience event. This is the 14th year of the event, and I'm honored to be asked to speak to you all today. I want to thank Paige for inviting me to speak. I assume that Paige invited me to speak because she knows I love to talk about modeling and simulation and space systems. And also probably because I am one of the founders of the SEE event, along with Bill Waite and Priscilla Elfrey, and we did that way back in 2009. It doesn't seem that far back to me, but I know it does to probably all of you. I've also been developing simulations for industry and NASA for over 30 years. I love the work that I do, and I enjoy passing along my knowledge and experience to future generations of space modeling and simulation professionals like yourselves. Like Mike said, I know you all, that y'all have been participating teams have worked hard over the past months to learn new things, bring forward new ideas, and craft these into innovative models and simulations that we'll see today. You've also had the opportunity to foster both professional and personal relationships internationally, and these are as important as the technical skills. So I also know you folks are not here to see me. However, I would like to pass on a few thoughts to kick off today's activities. And this is, my perspective on things. I feel we're entering a new era of space exploration. The Artemis program, it will move humanity into space to live and work, and not just to visit, which is kind of what we've done in the past. I also think that modeling and simulation will be a key discipline in advancing humanity into the solar system. I firmly believe, and a lot of folks have heard me say this before, that modeling and simulation is the math and physics of the 21st century. And SEE has been focused on this from its very inception. This is really why SEE exists. The skills that you learn in SEE will be valuable in your careers and critical to solving the challenges facing humanity, not just space, but energy, health, environment, and much more. I believe you have the ability, I know you have the ability, and I believe you have the obligation to leave the world a better place. The skills that you've learned and the relationships you've made in SEE will help you to do just that. Now, having said that, I'm excited to see what your bright minds have come up with, and I'm certain that I will learn new things. And when I learn something new, that's always a good day for me. You guys, you hold the future in your hands. Make the most of it. That's what I got to say today. Mike, Paige, back to you.
Thank you, Zach. We do have one other speaker who's online with us today. I would like to introduce Simon Taylor, who's our Executive Chair of C.
Hi, everybody. Zach said it all. I just wanted to say I've been a professor of modelling simulation for about 30 years. I've been involved with C for slightly less time than Zach. I just want everybody to know this is the biggest event of its kind in the world. So all the teams coming together to collaborate and construct something together in distributed simulation using modelling and simulation. There's no other activity like it worldwide. So you should all be very proud of yourselves taking part in this. And I want to thank the organising team, Mike, Paige, Zach, everybody else in achieving this. It's another remarkable contribution to modelling and simulation. And I'm very proud to be part of it. So thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you very much to Mick, Simon, Zach. I turned on our camera in the conference room as well so you can see this. This is me and Mike. And we also have Chait Patel online. And also Zupwan, who have been instrumental in allowing this to happen. And I also want to take the time to thank our many other participants, partners who helped make this happen. We work a lot with Pitch, SISO, Business Map, Git. There's many people that have to come together to make this happen. So thank you very much to everyone. And thank you very much to the teams who put in all this hard work to make this possible. This takes a lot of dedication, a lot of learning, a lot of time outside of your usual university schedules, and we very much appreciate it. And I think we've all had a great experience along the way. So I joined, this is my first year as C technical chair. I joined under Zupon when he was still the technical chair. So thank you guys for making this a great first year for me and a great C event. I think we're going to see a lot of awesome presentations, good work, and also a federation execution of the event. So before we kick all of that off, I would like to invite everyone to turn on your cameras so we can get our group picture. Maybe in the camera. This is going to be a challenge because I have to look that way and take a picture over here.
If everybody says C, then you're guaranteed everybody's going to smile.
Right, 1, 2, 3, C.
C.
All right, thank you, everyone. Would you please mute your cameras again? Six. All right, so we're going to move on to the presentation portion. First up, you're going to have Brunel. Let me pull up those slides. All right, would the Brunel team please like to present those slides?
Hello, can you hear and see me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. I'll start then. Good morning, good afternoon to everyone. Today's a really important day and we're very excited to talk about what we've achieved in this year's C program. Next slide, please. Let's start by introducing the people who've worked on the project, starting with members of Brunel's modeling and simulation group. Professor Simon, Dr. Anastasia, and Dr. Nura offered insight on conceptualization, methodology, and supervised the project. Dr. Mazier handled conceptualization, the software aspects, testing, and coordinated the development efforts. And then there's me, Ridanshu. I too worked on conceptualizing the design, software, testing, and acted as leader of the student team. And finally, from the student team, we have Danny, Destiny, Krunel, and Nile. Next slide, please. This year, we chose an ambitious simulation concept, a lunar spaceport. NASA's Artemis program aims to explore the moon for scientific discovery, advances in technology, to find ways to work and conduct research on another world, and potentially extend operational capabilities for missions to Mars. In pursuit of this endeavor, the lunar surface is bound to become a viable frontier, and we believe a spaceport fits the picture as a hub to facilitate these goals. So, what's the spaceport going to look like? The design motivation involves repurposing the advanced mission-critical infrastructure that support operations here on Earth for the lunar environment. The paper, titled Spaceport Design on the Moon from First Launch to the Future, conducted by RS&H in conjunction with NASA, served as a fulcrum for understanding important considerations relating to things like propellant and commodity storage, barrier heights to reduce the impact of rogue debris, among others. Next slide, please. So for the purpose of simulation in HLA, the spaceport is composed of 4 federates. The first is the communications hub, which acts as a central control structure for spaceport operations. It talks to the University of Genoa satellite federates to direct inbound and outbound spacecraft. Since the entire spaceport site is served by a cable car network, courtesy of the Fastens Brazil team, the hub receives information about cable car arrival departure times. The second federate is the spaceport, a launch complex, if you will, intended to facilitate the launch of craft. Team 1 from Embry-Riddle University intends to use this facility as a platform for launching payload. The third federate is the habitation quarters, which include dedicated residential and research-oriented spaces. The Lunar Rover and Workstation federates developed by Team 2 from Embry-Riddle transfer samples collected across various missions here to aid in research work. The fourth and final federate is the storage depot, a dedicated point for the storage of resources critical to spaceport operations. Next slide, please. So to carry out development of the simulation, we split our work across 4 roles, that is, programming, 3D design, integration, and documentation. And listed here are the tools that we utilized in our workflow. Next slide, please. This was our most important year yet in the event. We had fruitful collaborations with other university teams at all stages of the project. Our choice and delegation of roles taught us how we can achieve timely execution of tasks. Something that we wish we'd done a bit sooner was to raise our concerns about problems encountered with software like Dawn and the RTI, but these experiences have ultimately contributed to our proficiency in the underlying technology. And going ahead, we want to take the foundation that we've built to an all-new level by streamlining our project pipeline and bringing in student members from other disciplines to help realize this vision. Next slide. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you very much, and we look forward to contributing with even greater vigor in the future.
Thank you very much, Mel. Thank you for your great work. I love to see all the different interactions, and we look forward to you joining us next year as well. So the next presentation will be by Embry-Riddle Team 1.
Can't hear you, Luis.
I have a Team 1 like to please sit.
He's muted.
I think you are muted.
Here we go.
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so I'm still seeing up the presentation running. Here we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our visual presentation of the Mars Research Spacecraft. I am representing Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University alongside Jose, Chloe, Yonghee, Noah, Yip, Rui, and Andrew. Throughout this presentation, we will navigate through the technical details of the Mars Research Project, highlighting the cutting-edge technologies, design methodologies, and meticulous planning that have shaped its development. Next slide, please. Our team eagerly embraced the opportunity presented by NASA's Simulation Exploration Experience 2024, answering the call for proposals aimed at shaping the future of exploration aligned with NASA's ambitious Artemis missions, which aims to establish a sustainable human presence on the moon and pave the way for the Martian exploration. Next slide, please. Our proposed solution envisions a paradigm shift in lunar infrastructure and interplanetary transportation, predicated on the establishment of a fully developed lunar colony at the moon's south pole. At the heart of our solution lies a fleet of modular launch vehicles, engineered to deploy payloads from the lunar surface and propel them beyond lunar gravity, escaping velocity for interplanetary travel. This fleet comprised 6 reusable rockets and 4 nuclear thermal propulsion engines, representing a groundbreaking fusion of cutting-edge propulsion technologies. Each rocket is engineered for reusability, capable of returning to the lunar surface post-mission, minimizing resources consumption and maximizing mission longevity. Our solution not only facilitates the practical application of NTP technology, but also extends its utility beyond lunar transportation. These versatile rockets can be repurposed for Earth return missions or rapid intralunar transit, fostering the operational flexibility of future lunar endeavors. Through rigorous simulations and analysis facilitated by NASA's tools such as TRIC, we validated the feasibility of utilizing the moon as a strategic launch base, mitigating the energy expenditure and cost burdens associated with Earth-centric launch systems. In essence, our commitment extends beyond the confines of terrestrial boundaries. It encompasses the relentless pursuit of humanity's destinies among the stars. Next slide, please. After weeks of rigorous brainstorming and analysis, our team has arrived at a precisely designed spacecraft capable of fulfilling the demanding requirements of our manned missions from the moon to Mars. Illustrated in our CAD diagram are 3 distinct stages, each optimized to execute specific functions crucial to the success of our interplanetary journey. The stage 1. These 6 boosters provide the initial thrust required to propel the spacecraft into lunar orbit and subsequently return to the moon's surface before refueling and reuse. Each booster uses 9 engines, utilizing liquid oxygen oxidizer mined from the south pole of the moon. It is important to note that launching from the Earth will require approximately 20 boosters. Stage 2. Comprising NTP technology, this stage represents the backbone of our interplanetary transit system. This stage facilitates swift transit between celestial bodies, minimizing mission duration and maximizing efficiency. Stage 3. The final stage of our spacecraft is equipped with a single NTP system optimized for atmospheric capture and descent onto the Martian surface. Stage 3 boosts sufficient thrust to dock with the in-orbit Stage 2 for the return trip to the moon. Collectively, these 3 stages form a comprehensive and robust spacecraft architecture designed to navigate the complexity of our missions from the moon to Mars. Next slide, please. Could you please play the video? There's a video in there. See if it goes. Perfect. The following simulation showcases Stage 1 and Stage 2 separation. Here, by utilizing the TRIC simulation framework, we can quickly state a specific altitude, velocity, or rocket pitch to control the spacecraft and trigger a separation of stages. In this scenario, the Stage 1 rocket infrastructure will safely return to the moon, while Stage 2 utilizes nuclear thermal propulsion to reach Mars. This is one of the 2 simulations we completed in TRIC, but were not able to use as a federate to connect into the RTI. Next slide, please. As we observe the Hohmann transfer orbit animation, it's evident that traditional methods of interplanetary travel have relied on complex maneuvers. However, with the advent of NTP technology, we are poised to transcend these limitations and revolutionize space exploration. Our journey to Mars is accelerated by the second stage NTP engines, boosting a specific impulse of 950 seconds. This slashes travel time by half while enabling larger payloads. These 3 reactors, fueled by the high-assay, low-enriched uranium-235, provide over 300 pounds force of thrust. They're jettisoned and placed into Mars orbit onto the surface, mission completion. The third stage utilized a single NTP reactor, ensuring a precise descent onto the Martian surface. These advancements will propel us toward a future of efficient and agile interplanetary exploration. Next slide, please. Reflecting on our journey, we encountered valuable lessons and navigated through various difficulties that have shaped our project trajectory. One significant challenge was the high learning curve associated with simulation software like PitchRTI, TrickHLA, and Dawn. We faced this challenge without prior expertise, highlighting the importance of proactive communication regarding technical difficulties, seeking external guidance and best practices. Despite the initial hurdles, our team's dedication allowed us to overcome this obstacle and complete the simulation using Trick without the HLA attribute. Moving forward, we recognize the importance of transparent communication with the NASA C team to address issues promptly and effectively. Lastly, our experience underscored the vital role of proficiency in coding languages. While we faced challenges in this area, our team leader Jose's coding skills were essential for developing the rocket simulation using Trick and Unreal Engine. Next slide, please. As we conclude our presentation, it's important to recognize the positive outcome from our project journey. While we encountered challenges, we also experienced significant growth. Our perseverance and dedication enabled us to overcome obstacles and learn valuable lessons along the way. Throughout this project, we had the opportunity to immerse ourselves in the tools and environment of NASA, gaining invaluable insight into the intricacies of space exploration. This hands-on experience has not only expanded our technical skills, but also deepened our appreciation for the complexities of aerospace engineering. Lastly, we would like to thank our Professor Dr. Seibel, Paige, Mike, Zach, and the NASA C 2024 coordinators, and all of the students around the world who participated in this unique experience. Here concludes our presentation. Paige, if we may, we also have a 3D simulation using Unreal Engine. We would like to share. It's up to you if you wanted to do it now or later. Please let us know.
Yes, would you like to go?
I can screen share real quick. Is that okay?
Yes.
Can you see the PowerPoint? No? This was our 3D model using an Unreal Engine. This is what we envision. This is our rocket taking off from the moon on its way to Mars. We were hoping we could use Dawn for this simulation, but we had to opt for Unreal Engine. And this concludes our presentation.
Thank you very much for the great presentation, as well as the great visuals. Most teams have to learn a lot of these technical skills, and it's great for you to show off all the different tools that all the teams here are using. It's your teams. So next we're going to have Embry Riddle, Team 2.
Hey everybody, can you see and hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Should they come up? Just waiting on the presentation to come up. There we go. Yep, you can see it right now. Awesome. All right. All right, I'm ready to go. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Matthew Boudre. I am the student project lead for C-Team, our C-Team 2 for the Lunar rover, our father, which is our forward operating lunar rover, our buggy, which is a more traditional lunar rover, and then our pod, which is kind of a forward operating workstation that gets towed behind our forward operating lunar rover. Next slide, please. Our team consists of 13 students. Our class professor is Dr. Carl Siebold. Myself, is Matthew Boudre, is the project lead. Adam Margers was the design lead for our rover, with a team of Jacob Albiston, Christopher Campanelli, Peter Jacobson, and Robert Gray. Our HLA and simulation team consisted of Sarah Beatty, Brian Hubert, and Gary Shelley. And then our coding team had Alejandro Pena, Ethan Heiss, and Nicholas Perez. And then our student CAD and buggy team consisted of Leishon and Bradley Swanson. Next slide, please. This is our forward operating Lunar. It is a 6-wheeled electric vehicle designed to transport a crew of 3 astronauts and then our forward operating Lunar workstation to collect samples and perform experiments on the lunar surface away from the lunar base. It features mesh wheels, radioisotope thermoelectric generators for continuous power, life support similar to that on the ISS, and as we'll see on the next slide, the detachable pod for our crew to perform these experiments. Next slide, please. As you can see here on the right side, this is our forward operating workstation titled our pod. It is able to stay on the lunar surface for up to 10 days and support 3 astronauts as they complete their mission. It is equipped with sleeping quarters, sanitation facilities, and ample storage for samples. As well as being powered by solar arrays and RTGs, this pod is fully habitable and pressurized, and is able to extend these missions past these 10 days to past the lunar base, where the lunar base is, with the ability of its deployable legs to make this a semi-permanent habitat. This pod is ideal for diverse missions such as water and ice collection, lunar regolith collection, a remote settlement creation, lunar mapping, and has the ability to support other federates. Next slide, please. And this is our buggy. It is primarily built as a backup vehicle for the Faller, but it can also support our Faller for missions that need further range than what the Faller can extend out to. It has up to a 60-mile range and can also be piloted remotely from Earth, the Gateway satellite, or manually by astronauts anywhere on the lunar surface. This buggy was designed for ease of use in spacesuits and ensures the mission flexibility and safety. Next slide, please. Here, during the time at the NASA Sea, we were able to interact with a couple of universities and be able to have our federates interact with other federates. For example, our Faller is able to connect with Grates A and B, and then the communication hub and storage depot and habitation quarters from other universities, as well as our pod is able to subscribe to signals from the communication hub in Grates A and B, as well as have sample storage transfer to the storage depot, and then be able to be parked and stored at the habitation quarters when we are done with our mission. The buggy as well also has the same similar abilities to our rover, where they can get commands from the communication hub and habitation quarters, as well as transfer samples to the storage depot and be parked at the habitation quarters. Next slide, please. Some challenges along the way consisted of having a team consisted from both the US and Europe. So finding times where we can all meet and interact with one another and talk about our design and how we wanted to proceed with our federates was most challenging. On top of that, complications with HLA and learning the simulation software for this was very difficult and really kind of came up to the last minute whether we were going to be able to provide something in Dawn, which we were successful with. We also kind of fell victim to scope creep, where we just kind of wanted to keep going and going and make this a really cool design when it really fell out of what we were trying to achieve here. And then as the project went along over the past 3 months, we kind of had trouble assigning responsibilities to team members, as we didn't want to cause any issues between time and them not being able to get together. Next slide, please. Some lessons learned over the past 3 months is we were able to work collaboratively with a large group and in different countries, and so we were able to learn how we were able to do that effectively. We were able to learn how to engineer and develop a design based on what was needed from us to provide the top level requirements, as well as we worked through new software such as SolidWorks and Maya to create our design concept, our rovers, and the pod. These past 3 months also provide us the ability to learn how to manage a project when it comes to cost and time, and ensuring that we're able to get everything done. It also sharpened our skills to critically think of past problems that occurred during this project, and then utilize conflict resolutions as anything came up, any problems or issues that between the group where we couldn't meet correctly or at the right time, and we were able to solve those. And next slide, I believe that's the last slide.
Seems to be the last one.
Is it possible to pull up the 3D videos in Unreal Engine that I sent you this morning?
So,
And as we'll see here in these videos, we have our forward operating lunar rover and the buggy moving along the lunar surface.
can you see the video?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Got it.
Perfect. All right, I'll hit play and let you talk over it if you would like.
Thank you. So this is our forward operating lunar rover, just quickly driving over the lunar surface. You'll see it going forward, back, left, right, to ensure that we have functionality of it in there. I'll let the video play. And then here we have our more traditional lunar rover, the buggy, operating on top over the lunar surface as well. And that will conclude our presentation today. I wanted to thank you all for your time and for the space I had to present all of this to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and those are great visuals. I like to see people using different tools on Unreal Engine, Unity. These are all very good. Thank you. Next, we will have Fasten to present.
Oh, it's interesting.
Can you see the slides?
Hey guys, my name is Andressa. I'm a student at Fathens in Brazil, and I'm going to present to you our project. Next slide. So this is our team. We have 3 professors, Andrea, Lívia, Fabrício, a team leader, that's me, 4 developers, José, Kaique, Patrick, and Rafael, 1 3D modeler, Marcos, and a researcher, Priscila. Next slide. We have 2 categories this year. First one is our lunar cable car. It's a transportation system in which a cabin suspended on a continuously moving cable transport people and cargo to different stations on the lunar surface. So kind of like a bus or a train, people can hop in and hop off whenever they want. But instead of being on a road or a trail, it's on a suspended cable. So next slide, please. So our data elements are position, orientation. Our interactions are the astronaut and lunar space. And our tools was 3ds Max and Java. So if you see in the image, we have like an infrastructure, kind of like a bridge, where the astronaut can go in. Imagine he's on a building, kind of like on the communication hub, we have the interaction with Brunel. The astronaut can go directly inside the building to the cable car, or if he wants, he can go into this little tube where it has some steps where he can go directly on the moon surface. So he has these two options where he can go. Next slide, please. Our second federate is our astronaut. He's just an astronaut who's going to be on his mission on the moon, and he's going to be inside our lunar cable car. So he's going to be going from one place to another and showing how all works. His data elements are position and orientation as well. The interactions are the cable car and the lunar space, and the tools, again, 3ds Max and Java. Next slide, please. Our challenges, we have a newly formed team this year, so none of us never worked with distributed programming, so that was fun to learn. We never worked with Dawn as well, so we had to work. And our university main network blocks the connection with Pitch, so we got a little behind schedule because we had to make some changes, so it'll work. Next slide, please. Our lessons learned is we improved our skills in logical programming and architecture code. We have a better knowledge of Dawn, and also we have improved our documentation because we have none from previous teams. And if we had, we probably would have an easier job. So we made sure to have a better documentation for future students. Next slide, please. This is our final 3D model. We have all here, the infrastructure, the cable car, the astronaut, everything together, how we're going to be showing at the end. Next slide, please. And I think that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Fastens. It's a very creative idea, and I think, as Zach mentioned, a potentially minimally disturbing way to traverse over the surface of the moon. And next, we're going to have Genoa.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect.
Right. You should be seeing slides.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon. First of all, I want to thank everyone who dedicated their time and effort to organize this event. And thank you for fostering this environment for learning. This year, Genova team consists of simulation team, focus on designing models and federates, and the strategic engineering student group who work on 3D model part. My name is Farshad, and my colleagues on simulation teams are Giovanni, Curie, and Antonio. And the strategic group members include Luca, Simone, Federico, and Luca under supervision of Professor Agostino Borozzone. Next slide. Okay. This is our baseboard card. We work on two identical satellite named Grade A and Grade B. Their task is mapping the gravitational field of the moon and serving as a communication relay station. The satellite continuously measures the distance between each other, and areas with the more mass, such as lunar mountains and dense rock, exert a stronger pull gravitational and affect the distance between the satellites. Next slide, please. Okay. Certainly, design an orbit for real-world application is more complex than what we have done. We focus on very simple model for this year. Actually, there are two ways to calculate the position of the satellite in orbit using Cartesian coordinate and 6 independent elements named orbital elements. Semi-major axis and eccentricity define the shape of the orbit. Inclination, longitude of ascending node, and argument of perigee describe the orientation of the orbit. The distance between two satellites is 200 kilometers, and each satellite takes 130 minutes to complete one orbit. The range quota is the mathematical technique we use, which is a popular numerical approach for dynamic system. Next slide, please. Here you can see an overview of a local execution federation with different components like space master, environment, and grades A and grades B. Time graph that shows the progression of time and also the model logic and interaction implemented in Eclipse IDE. Next slide. Please play the video. Okay, thank you. Here's a short demo of our 3D model in Unity. This year, we were unable to implement the model in Dawn because of lack of the time. And this will be the major task for our next year. And next slide, please. Okay. For sure, there was a lot of challenges like time management, a lot of information and tools need to be learned. A-Space and Smackdown project is hard and a lot of pieces need to come together. It needs teamwork. And also, for me personally, working with the Java at the beginning was challenging. I wasn't very comfortable. Also, for sure, there was a lot of achievements like improving problem skill, solving a skill, learn new tools and information such as HLA, interoperability, Trick HLA, 3D modeling software, Dawn, and etc. And also interact with other teams from different countries. It was one of the big achievements. Next slide. Okay, thank you for attention. We are waiting for next year events. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great presentation. I studied orbital dynamics myself, so seeing that slide brought me back to roots a little bit. All right, next up, we have IMT Minds.
Hello everyone. I break my camera this morning, so I don't have one. I'm going to introduce you our simulation project, the Lunar regolith architectural printer. Next slide, please. So the team, we are Bruno, Grégoire, and Thomas, leading by Marianne, and supervised by Grigory Zakharevich. Next slide, please. We saw that 1 kilogram costs $1 billion to send to the moon. So we just decided to find a system to craft some tools directly on the moon. That's why after searching some technology that can do that, we decided to simulate a regolith printer with some raw material present on the moon. The system is powered by solar energy, so it can be we can create everything directly on the moon. Next slide, please. we decided to create one principle federate and create a second one to test our principle. So with that, we have a scenario to craft some material. We have, for example, a rover who sends an help request. Then the LRAP get the help request, adds in queue the thing that he should create, then calculates what he needs of quantity of regolith based on the dimension of the thing that he should create. Then it starts to print and then updates the level of battery and the consumption of regolith. After that, LRAP communicates to the rover, and then the rover receives the communication. Next slide, please.
You're muted, Thomas.
Yes, thanks. So the first step to modelize our 3D printer in 3D was to use Blender. We didn't have any experience in 3D modeling, so we watched some tutorials and video, and we asked for help to do this 3D printer. Next slide, please. So as you can see, the 3D model is not the same than before. So what we did, we use C to learn a lot of things. So we use the IA model to generate the 3D model. So what we done is use ChatGPT to generate an image of the printer. Then we upscale this image with an IA, and then I train an IA to generate 3D printers. The result is not that good, but let's see, it could work, and we liked it because it's something new. And as you can see after in our simulation, we have two featherweights that communicate together, one which is our 3D printer and one which is our Lunar rover. So next slide, please. So challenges we faced to these projects was first of all, understanding 3D printer mechanism for Lunar rover condition. We asked for help to researchers that work in our school. We had some issues to build a 3D model because we did not get any experience, but we learned how to use Blender and how to use a lot of tools like Dawn. We learned a lot about RTI, how to program with some feeder rates to work efficiently. And we learn a lot of knowledge about team dynamics. For our case, it's very specific because we ended up our study like 2 months ago, so we were split across the world, and we had to work like from home, and it was not that easy. And also to collaborate with other teams around the world, which with different languages. So it was a good experience. So next slide, please. So what we learn is a lot of knowledge about space in general, because our studies are not based on that. To make 3D models, HLA, collaboration, and teamwork. So we want to thank everyone, like other teams we work with that help us, and Paige and everyone that's organized this event. So thanks all.
Thank you very much. Great work.
Thanks.
Okay, next we have the Little Catholic University.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm glad to present you our TAPS, Transporter and Ambulance Power Supply that was created by Little Catholic University team. Next slide, please. There are 4 of us working in the group. Alan, who was involved in the modeling process, Danny and me in the development part, and Joseph as a team leader. And now about our baseball card. Next slide, please. So we were modeling a lunar rover that is aimed at materials transportation and on-demand energy provision. We used tools like Unity, Java, and Pitch RTI to create and deploy a lunar vehicle simulation. When it comes to data elements that we needed, they are position, coordinates, sensors, cameras, and a LiDAR to provide essential information about the vehicle location and the surroundings. Orientation and navigation served us to indicate the directions, and battery levels monitors to know the energy levels. Next slide, please. So here we can see the model visualization. The surface is covered with solar panels in order to power both internal systems and charge energy storage units to provide energy to other lunar vehicles when it's requested. TAPS is also equipped with a spacious cargo compartment and a robotic arm to load and unload materials efficiently. It has also an autonomous navigation system that ensures safe and efficient transportation. Next slide, please. So we created 2 federates, our main vehicle that is TAPS on the right and an assistant on the left to check the interactions between them. When we launch the assistant that is on the left, we can ask for a rover position, we can request for a delivery, and we can park it, as it is essential to park the assistant before requesting for a delivery. Once the delivery is requested, TAPS calculates the distance which is decreasing when it's come closer to the assistant, and once our TAPS is close enough, it starts fulfilling the delivery, and we can see the percentage of delivery that is fulfilled. And once it is 100%, the delivery request is fully done. Next slide, please. And now about the challenges. The first one that we uncovered was at the stage of conceptualization. It was defining all the details for the baseball card. We had some challenges in the modeling process as well. There were some technical issues and issues while testing. We had to correct the federates and correct the errors while connecting to the RTI. The pitch license that we requested didn't work at first, so we requested for another one. The same was for the VPN. We made another demand to get new credentials. And last but not least, it's about collaboration and communication. There were time limits and restrictions due to different working hours of each team member, and it was not so easy to find the time that would be convenient for everyone. So to conclude the presentation, due to our collaboration, dedication, and adaptability, and after overcoming all the limits and obstacles that we had, we are happy to demonstrate you the results today. Next slide, please. So thank you for the attention, and we are eager to continue our path next year.
Thank you very much. Great presentation. We look forward to you joining us again next year as well. All right, next up, we are going to have the Naval Academy of Bulgaria.
Hello.
Okay.
Could you? Yes, thank you.
Great, go ahead.
It is a pleasure for me to present the Lunarite project on behalf of the Naval Academy in Bulgaria. Lunarite stands short for Lunar Unified Network for Semi-Autonomous Realm Integration. Next, please. This is our team. It consists of members from various kinds of backgrounds. And together we have mentors from the teachers of the Naval Academy. Next, please. We have a list of the federates we wanted to include initially. Sadly, due to lack of available time on our site, not all of them met the end of the project, but I will cover them quickly. We have a base with habitable domes divided into categories for different purposes and functions, such as living quarters and laboratories. We have 2 types of rovers, one for transporting people and serving as a mobile laboratory, and one for autonomous exploration. We also have another mode of transportation powered by rockets. We have a shuttle to connect people between the lunar base and the orbital gateway, and also a second rocket for transporting cargo and connection to more distant missions between the Earth and Moon and the Moon and Mars. We also want to emphasize working with the lunar gateway provided by the Artemis mission or some alternative, which also works in collaboration with a constellation of satellites for better communication and signal relay. Another central part of our project, which we'll cover later, is the swarm drones, a large number of individual devices that travel and improve service scan coverage. And we also wanted to plan sensors for moonquakes, which we know will be important for future bases, and specialized mining sites for extracting materials and gathering resources for building and constructing other mechanisms. Next, please. This was our baseball card. You can see a short overview with some outdated models. We will see the newer ones later. Please, next slide. So the center of our mission is integrating the combined joint all-domain model, command and control model into interplanetary missions to establish a sustainable and efficient operational framework of lunar and deep space exploration. By using this model, we aim to enhance communication, optimize resource allocation, and enable data-driven decision-making. So through collaborative research and innovative technologies, we can continue to improve our Lunarite project and advance scientific discovery and support long-term habitation and pave way for new missions in space and in deep space. Next slide, please. The combined joint all-domain command and control model is a sophisticated military concept that that sufficiently improves the system control, provides rigid and robust communication reliability, and increases real-time data collection, processing, and improves operational effectiveness the longer a mission continues. It also helps with resource planning and hazard detection. Next, please. This is how this system is overviewed on Earth. Please, next slide. I'm keeping short so we can stay on track with the schedule. And another slide, please. And next slide should be the start of our model's close-up. No, another slide, please. I apologize. This is the Lunarite base, which is the central command and control center for interplanetary missions. It is powered by powerful communication technology, and its data security is enhanced and provided by quantum cryptography for secure data exchange, and is the main core of the CJATS2 system. Its main features are the communications hub at the center, the modular residences to the left, where scientists and astronauts should live, and we have science stations serving as laboratories to the right, and also a entertainment hub that simulates a natural landscape on Earth. The base is mainly powered by RTGs, nuclear reactors, and solar panels. Next slide, please. This is the exploration rover. It is an autonomous vehicle designed for independent research and mapping lunar terrains. And on board, it has scientific instruments such as spectrometers, scameters, and lidars and radars for scanning terrain and using artificial intelligence to navigate through it. Please, next slide. And this is our first mode of transportation, the bigger rover for transporting humans across the lunar surface. It also can double as a mobile laboratory with an onboard 3D printer for manufacturing components on the fly. Next slide, please. A second mode of transportation powered by rockets. We have the shuttle that connects between the lunar base and the orbital gateway. Next slide, please. We also have the improved Lunarite rocket with versatile payload capacity and integrated tools for working with the combined joint all-domain command and control model to transmit crucial information such as trajectory optimizations, fuel optimization, and other aspects to improve mission safety. Next slide, please. This is the swarm of drones. The model is rather outdated, but I will show the new ones later. And the benefits of this system is that it is very modular and very reliable, since this large amount of drones can improve scanning quality and scanning coverage of the lunar surface. And also each drone can use different sensors. We can use them for various types of missions. And if one of them fails, we have the rest to ensure redundancy, and the mission will be conducted successfully. They are also designed to be cheap, and they can be manufactured directly on the moon with available resources. And they are also very crucial for working with the CJATS-2 model. Next slide, please. Again, I want to emphasize working with the Artemis mission. So with the Artemis Lunar Gateway, we can use it to support continuous observation of deep space phenomena, microgravity, and use it as a transportation hub for materials and personnel, contributing to the sustainability and efficiency of interplanetary missions. Next slide, please. This is a technical view of how we plan to make our simulations, but sadly we could not manage that. But we have something to show you instead. If only I could share my screen, I want to show you a nice animation we made with the featherettes that we have in Blender.
Go ahead and share your screen.
Can you please confirm if you see? Hello?
Your slide.
Perfect. Okay. Now you should be able to see the video playing in a bit. Sorry, I'm having some difficulty. Should take up to a minute. Okay, great. We gathered all the 3D models that we needed and made an animation in Blender that showcases the lunar base at its location on the moon, powered by the solar panels, and different launcher rockets. Here you can see the operation of some of the what we wanted to be our featherettes. Here is the expedition rover to carry passengers and conduct research on the fly. It has a very stable system for navigating and traversing the lunar terrain, even if it's uneven through its path. There next to it, you can see the exploration rover that powers up and starts traveling and scanning the surface. An interesting thing you can see on it is that it has only the directional wheels to improve movement precision and stability. All the information it gathers from the scans is uploaded to the network. And here is the new model of our drones. We want to present them traveling on a mission and gathering all the terrain along a given path. And now to finish, we have the shuttle with reusable rockets that launches from the base and reaches the Lunar Orbital Gateway. This was all from us this year, and we will be happy to participate in the next edition of the Simulation Exploration Experience program. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. You have a lot of very cool ideas, and these are excellent 3D models. Thank you very much for sharing. Next up, we have the University of Calabria.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Paige, for sharing your screen. So we are the aquarium team. Our project is named DMOON, Drone Monitoring System for Lunar Cultivations. And next slide, please. So we are the Modeling and Simulation Center Laboratory for Enterprise Solutions. This presentation could be a quick one since due to the fact that we joined the C project later on, and we were not able to complete all the assignments. Anyway, next slide, please. So our team is composed of Francesco Longo and Vittorio Solino as faculty advisors, me as a team leader, Pier Paolo Veltri and Anna Chiara Felice as technology researchers, Karen Manfredi and Antonio Bosa as 3D modelers, and Moyad El Bashir and Stefano Brusco as developers. Next slide. So basically, our project is intended to feature a drone with 4 propellers, and that is able to fly by over an hub that is built as a greenhouse in which to cultivate potatoes. And the simulated behavior is basically to fly by over the greenhouse and allow for checks on the status of cultivations. The idea behind this project was also to collaborate with other university or projects to be able to make the rover, the drone, fly over other hubs and laboratories of the C project. Next slide, please. So this is basically the interaction matrix that we prepared, and we intended to publish information to other federates, such as position, altitude, orientation, the status of the cultivations, and also battery levels and so on. Next slide. Thank you. Now, this is one of the models that we were preparing, and in particular, this is the drone 3D model developed by our team, and we were also working on the greenhouse hub. as lesson learned and challenges, for sure we learn a lot of things that we have not to do in the future or in the next experiences. And one of the most important things that we have to improve as a lesson learned is to collaborate more when we have problems or issues that other teams have already solved, instead of trying to solve them on our own. This would have really helped us to speed up the process of connecting to other federates and so on. So this is our experience for this year. We would really like to participate next year to complete this project that we think can be really relevant and interesting for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the great presentation. So next up, we have the UCF infrastructure team.
All right, perfect. And can everyone hear me and see me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, awesome, thank you. All right, so hello everyone. My name is Ricardo Barrios and I'm the team lead for the University of Central Florida C infrastructure team. I've prepared a quick presentation on some of the work that we did to set up the infrastructure for the C event. Next slide, please. All right, so starting off, we were given an Ubuntu server to set the infrastructure on. It's a machine, it's running Ubuntu 22.04. We connected to this machine via remote desktop and installed all of the necessary software to run the infrastructure for the event. This server will be running all 3 of the core federates that each team will need in order to run their simulations. We also opened up 3 ports in the server firewall, and these ports allow the teams to download the VPN client, connect to the runtime infrastructure, and also view the connected federates via the RTI web viewer. Next slide, please. So, teams gain access to our server via OpenVPN. We installed the client on the machine and configured the server to give each team a static IP address so that they are able to easily communicate between each other when connected to the network. This was necessary as each team's federate can publish data and subscribe to another federate for any data that it may need. Once connected to the VPN, teams are able to access the server's running CRC. We look forward to demoing this capability during the Federation execution later on, and this concludes our presentation. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you very much. This team was really instrumental in the Federation execution that happened, as well as David Curry, who helped us set up the server in his office. And thank you to all the people involved in making that. So next, we have 2 UCF teams, so I don't believe we can make it due to graduation this week. We have the UCF Freighter team. They were designing a federate in which a launcher goes down into a freighter and launches samples back out into the surface. Very cool design. We also have UCF Dawn team. So I'm going to go ahead and let Mike talk a little bit to these.
Did they send slides? Hello, this is Mike. Hello, this is Mike. The Dawn team worked with a combination of 2 other teams to go move everything that had been done in Dawn from Unity into Unreal. They got about 90% of the way there, which was their goal for next year. So they've almost completed everything we were looking for, with the ability to take your models, pull your models in, subscribe to everything, and leverage the work here done at JSC to with Unreal to do the simulations and support what they've got going here. We'll be finishing and extending that work over the summer, and it should be ready for a page in the fall. That's the plan that they've got right now. Just we weren't able to get all the pieces done for here. So we're using the 3.1 client that was developed at NASA about a decade ago for what we've got there. The crater transport team was one of a couple of that we had set up. Their goal was to, once you get to the bottom of a crater and so the goal was to come up with an alternative way to driving it out. So one concept was a rail gun and just, I'm sorry, electromagnetic accelerator. You wouldn't know how to say rail gun. And to be able to take payload modules and lob them just up over the burn of the crater to be picked up by other rovers and carried around. Other concepts that we explored were spin launch type capability. You've seen some of the spin launch videos that are around. Other ways, and then basically, something like a catapult or a trebuchet to go get things out of the crater. Those sets of concepts, or all the sorts of concepts, were viable. Most likely, we'll be looking at the electromagnetic accelerator because it's the easiest aim and use the energy that can be put into it to get modules, or if it's water ice, it's just frozen ice up and out of the crater to where they'll work with it. That's it.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks, did a great job. Wanted to make sure their work was represented here today as well. So lastly, for the presentations, we had a new team this year from Athens who sent over a recording of their presentation. They have Easter holidays in Greece this week, so we're not able to attend. I'm going to go ahead and share their video. Please let me know if you cannot hear the sound when it's playing.
It's a great pleasure to present in the recorded presentation our initial conceptual work within the context of SEE. My name is Panagiotis Michael, and I'm representing the National Technical University of Athens and the Karakopi University of Athens in SEE. The title of our work is In Situ Data Stream Processing and the Internet of Space. The work has been inspired by the presentations within the framework of SEE, which we are observing. Through our observations, we realized a growing number of lunar terrain vehicles, rovers, and autonomous robotic systems, as also astronauts. For this reason, we are proposing the extension of the already well-matured concept of the Internet of Things, introducing the concept of the Internet of Space, proposing in situ data stream processing and terminal services to everyone and everything in the domains of habitation, energy, mobility, logistics, and power. In order to provide in situ data stream processing, we need the existence of necessary infrastructure, such as data centers. And for this reason, we have customized the NASA Habitat Demonstration Unit presented in SCE presentation, How to Play Nice Across Time and Space, in order to host a high-performance space data center. For demonstration purposes, based on the published recent plans of Frankfurt Airport Terminal 3 as background, we have modeled a lunar surface habitat to include a control tower, data center facilities, and terminal services for human support. The lunar surface habitat will simulate an Earth airport facility on the lunar surface, lunar port, providing life supporting services to astronauts, as also services to lunar terrain vehicles, rovers, and autonomous robotic systems at large scale. The lunar port is based on a modular, scalable community habitat model, providing services for habitation, energy, mobility, logistics, power, and in situ data stream processing. Closing, we're wishing all the best to our participants, thanking the coordinators of SE for all their support and welcoming, and we're looking forward to start implementation of our concepts during next year's SE. Thank you.
That concludes our presentation portion of the final events. We did have a couple other observing teams that were online as well, so I thank them for observing this year, and we would like to see for next year as massive. With that, we're going to move on to the Federation execution. So I'm going to please ask Ricardo if he could share his screen. We have a tool called the Web Viewer that allows us to see the Federation. So we'll be able to see each team and each federate that joins. Ricardo, are you online? Thank you.
Yes, sorry. And can you all see that?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Allow me to begin the Federation execution. I will be starting up the Space Master Federate. Okay. Now to start the space reference frame. And now to start the HLA to Dawn Federate. Okay, perfect. So now all three core federates are successfully connected to the CRC and teams may begin joining.
Thank you very much, Ricardo. So you can see here this little lollipop diagram, we have the 3 core federates. And so now I'm going to ask each team one at a time to please join their federates, and then you'll see them join here as well. So first, I'm going to ask Brunel, please join your.
Hello, everyone. Brunel is ready. I'm going to start with the spaceport.
Okay.
Spaceport is running. I don't see any issue here. Next federate is the communication hub. Communication hub is connected, no issues. Next federate is the habitation quarters. Next federate is storage main. I'm going to go back to the habitation quarters later. So we are going to skip habitation quarters because some development needed on that. But our 3 federates are live and running.
Thank you, Brunel.
Thank you.
Can we please have every Riddle Team 2 join their federates, please?
Embry Riddle for the FOLR, joining now. Running. Successful connection, time, and position advancement.
Excellent, thank you. Can we please have fast?
I'm going to find out. 1 second, please.
O Breda também caprichou no cabelo dela, bem curtinho.
Yeah. All right, both of our federates are up and running.
Excellent, thank you. Can we please have Genoa join your federation?
Yes, for a moment. Okay, both federal are joining.
Excellent. Can we please have IMT Minds join the federation?
Hello, I'll start with Lunar rover. And now the 3D printer. Okay, both our federates are up and running.
Thank you. Can we please have the Lille Catholic University join the federation?
Hello again. Proceeding with our first federate. And now with the second federate, the TAPS federate. We're good.
Thank you. All right, are there any other universities that would like to join our federation at this time? Hearing none, congratulations to all the teams that just joined. This is a big accomplishment. They successfully joined. So once the core fetters joined, time started advancing. So all these simulations are currently running right now. So great job to all of our teams. So I'm going to call on them one at a time for them to explain what their simulations are currently doing and share anything else, any interactions or graphics they might like to share. So with that, I'll start with Brunel.
Thank you, Paige. Hello again. As Hridiyanshu described in his presentation, this year we decided to go with a multi-federate implementation or design. The first one was the spaceport, a multi-port facility with 4 ports for launchers and landers. The second one is communication hub. This is a federate that takes care of the communication between our federates and external federates. And we're hoping that we have more collaboration at next C event and we can have more interactions with other external universities. We have 2 more federates, one of them habitation quarters and another one storage depot. These are under development, but we're hoping to finish them and join the federation soon. I think that's it from me. Thank you.
Excellent. Great work, and thank you, Brunel.
Thank you.
Would Embry-Riddle Team 2 you'd like to describe their federation?
Absolutely. So the FOLR, the current code is taking some linear inputs of acceleration and moving the rover forward based on its acceleration. And it is also slightly turning. So after a certain time, it will just be static. So it is advancing as planned. And unfortunately, we were unable to get the other feder codes for the buggy and the pod to be advancing at the same time. So the FOLR is online and working though.
Look, and any team wishing to share graphics or outputs from terminals, you're welcome to share yours.
I can load up Dawn really quick.
Would you like to circle back or are you ready to go? All right, well, Gary's getting the Dawn to load. We're gonna move forward and we'll come back to you. Somebody have a question? I think it's all right, Sam.
I am able to share screen for Dom.
Okay, go ahead.
So I ran into a shader issue when I exported this, but as time, this is at the end of its move cycle. Brunel, we were working a little bit, so I actually have some of their stuff here. So the rover actually started in the back and moved to this location, which is its endpoint. But we were able to successfully load it in the lunar surface. And it is moving.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you so much.
And before we move on, Mazir, did you have anything you wanted to show?
Paige, we are working still on Dawn visualization, and we're hoping to finalize it soon.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great work. Thanks. We're going to move to assets. Would you like to share information about your method?
Hello? Hey, yes, of course. Can I share my screen?
Go ahead.
Okay, 1 second. All right, can everyone see Dawn?
Yes.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I am Kaique from Facen, Brazil, and I will be presenting our simulation graphics of our feathers running over Dawn. As you can see, these are our two feathers, the lunar cable car and the astronaut's feather. Let's see how they can interact. First, the astronaut asks the cable car for a ride, and the cable car responds with the closest station position. When the astronaut reaches their station, it is added to the station queue and waits for the boarding to commence. The cable car keeps working on its path until it gets to a station. All right. It then starts the boarding and unboarding process, asking all passengers to leave and enter. When the astronaut enters, it randomly chooses a station as his next destination. Let's see which will be it. Okay, as you can see, it arrived at the destination, so it asked the cable car to stop for a while so he could leave, live. Now, the cycle repeats whenever an astronaut wants to ride. Some improvement points I would like to mention here are improving the visuals to represent more realistic movements and making each system more autonomous and independent, so they can operate unrelated to themselves. Another point, we planned an interaction with all 4 federates from the Brunel University team, that our cable car would create a network of astronaut movement between all of the federates. We wish we had enough time to get it fully working. Finally, I'd like to say thank you all for the attention and for the opportunity. I hope next year we can collaborate even more and evolve this project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excellent visuals and excellent work.
Thank you.
Next, we have Genoa. You would like to.
Yes, I will. Can I share my screen?
Yes.
Okay, can you see?
Yes, I can.
Okay. As I said, this year we were unable to implement our model in Dawn. This is our 3D model in Unity. As you can see, 2 identical satellites moving around the moon. And also they have interaction with each other and measuring the distance between each other. And I hope for the next year we can have more time to interact with other teams. And yes, that's it from our side.
Thank you very much. Great visuals.
Thank you.
Next, we have IMT Minds.
Hello, everyone. This is Marianne from IMT Minds LS team. I'll start first by sharing our 3D model. So this is our model. At the center, you can see an extrusion nozzle that deposits layer of heated regolith to form solid, durable constructions. And on the top, you can see 1 solar panel that should be where the sun should be pointing to this solar panel. And we have an internal battery that we will be recharging. So now I'll start my execution. As you can see, I have 2 executables corresponding to 2 different federates. On the right, you have the 3D printer, LRAP, and on the left, IMT Lunar rover, which is a testing federate that we will be using to send the interaction and receive interactions. I'll start by checking what are my options to print. So we have configured 10 options, and for each option, we have some dimensions that we have configured. But of course, other teams would send us different dimensions, and the printer would print that accordingly, and the layers would be corresponding to the dimensions that we receive. So I'll start by sending an HDH 02. It's habitat door hinges. The 3D printer has received the interaction and started to print. We have 16 printing layers, and once they are all printed, we'll send another interaction to the IMT Lunar rover, telling it we have finished. So now I'll check the battery. The battery is being recharged, and we're good. So every time we want to send an interaction, it goes inside a queue. So now I'll send one that would take more time. And habitat airlock seal, for example. And if I add other items, I could check the queue. I have 2 in the queue. And at any time, I could check the regolith level of my 3D printer. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like the live demonstration of the interaction expansion.
Thanks.
So next we have the load sampling university.
Hello. As you can see, Paige, we did not get inspired by the IMT means LS teams with the logos at all. So let me tell you about what's going on with our first Federate, the Lunar the assistant. I have parked it a while earlier, otherwise it will keep moving. Its position now is the following, and I will request a delivery from TAPS. So you can see that TAPS is moving now. The distance is getting smaller and smaller, but when it gets small enough, it will stop and start the operation of the delivery. When the operation of the delivery is 100% done, we'll get a message to tell us that the delivery was successful.
Excellent. Great live interaction as well. And I do like your terminal word art today. Great job. All right, we have one last request to return back to Original Team 2 for one of their graphics. You would like to do that?
Right, is my turn?
Yes.
I'm gonna. Hi everyone, my name is Lei Shan. It's from Emerito. I'm gonna share my buggy. So firstly, my team didn't show much the CAD. That's I created this CAD by the SolidWorks. Like there's like almost like 300 or 400 components. So it's very detailed there. Just compare solo and then now, okay. So I created my team would create the mesh tires are very challenged. So spend like 2 weeks to create this. So that's the front, the side look, right. Okay, now I'm gonna show the buggy on the in a real engine. So let's you can see closer here. And we just started. Okay. There you go. So let's move forward. Turn back to the page. So come back up. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's it. Oh no, sorry.
All right, thank you, Lay. Great models. Love to see you driving around.
Closed it and I just didn't pay attention too fast.
So thank you. That's all of our teams in our Federation execution. So again, congratulations to all the teams that participated in the Federation execution, and also great work and congratulations to all the teams involved at SEED overall. It is a huge accomplishment. These are very advanced technical concepts. HLA, OpenVPN, RTIs, also having to learn how to use collaboration tools across countries, across time zones. It is almost 11 a.m. where I am, but I know that's not true where all of you are. We managed to get this all working together and we have a lot of advanced concepts along the way. So outstanding work, and thank you to the university teams as well as all of our participant sponsored partners that made this happen. Thank you very much.
Last words?
And any last words? Our leadership team.
Absolutely fantastic job. Very, very impressive. And very, very happy to see where we're going next year.
It was really impressive. It was exciting to see all the different ideas, and it made me come up with ideas on how we could do things next year and the things that we can bring in. So it was exciting. And I know there's some other folks on from like the Simulation Interoperability Standards Organization. Hey, hopefully they'll have some comments to make as well.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.
Thank you. Anyone else from the board that have any last comments?
Absolutely brilliant. Well done, everybody.
Thank you, Simon. We had a good showing today. A lot of people come out for this, a lot of university teams, members of our C board. Most of the teams have interacted through me as I'm the technical chair and some of our technical support here in the room, but we've also had really important people that make this happen. There's Simon Taylor, who just spoke, as well as a bunch of David Curry, helping with the server and the website. Nikolai set up the live stream for us today, and there is many, many more people that have been to make this happen. Pitch team to help issue the license. I'm sure it could go on for about 10 minutes. So thank you to everyone who's online. Thank you to our teams, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paige.
Thank you very much.
The 2024 is over. Hopefully see you next year.
Thank you.
So,
see you.
Goodbye.
Thank you and bye all.